All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming out today. I'd like to thank God here for this wonderful weather we got today, considering what we've recently had. What we're here for today is a dedication ceremony of the Wayne County Veterans Gold Star Family Memorial. My name is Jeff Scholl. I'm the director at Wayne County Veterans Services here in Wooster, and I will be your host for this ceremony. Thank you for being here today to help us honor the families of those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country. To begin our ceremony, we invite United States Air Force veteran Reverend Dr. Dana Kierstead to bless us with the invocation. Please stand and remain standing if you're able through the singing of the national anthem and placement of the wreath. Dana?
At this very hour, much of our free land, citizens are being reminded of the cost of freedom. In some places, sirens are heard, horns are blasted, bugles are reminding America of the cost of freedom. As we commemorate this plaque dedicated to Gold Star families, I am remembering a classmate of 12 years, grammar school and high school, who is a Gold Star mother and a Gold Star widow. Let us continue to do our duty to God. Eternal Father, strong to save, whose arm hath bound the restless wave, who bids the mighty ocean deep its own appointed limits keep. Oh, hear us when we cry to Thee, for those in peril on the sea. We call you Father because we believe you to be our founding parent. You are the original Gold Star Father. We call on you for blessings on Gold Star families. Their grief is real. Their sacrifices are personal. Their scars are concealed. The sons and daughters, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters share in the cost of our survival. Help us to understand that their deaths have meaning. Your ways are not our ways. Help us to understand that freedom is costly. It must be maintained by each generation. This memorial stands for all who have served and paid the outrageous price. The battlefield cross for the ultimate cost. Now the Gold Star plaque for the families who survived. We ask your blessing for all who accept this tribute. May their lives be enriched with the knowledge that you share our loss, that you are ever near, and that you will never leave us. Oh, hear us when we cry to Thee, for those in peril on the sea and land and in the air. Amen.
Okay, now we will honor the country with the singing of the national anthem, and it is our great pleasure to have today with us country music recording artist Jill Burke to sing the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now we will place the wreath. Now we'll be placing the wreath for the remembrance to the fallen. To present the wreath is Gold Star Mother Chris Runkle. Chris's son, First Lieutenant John Runkle Jr., died in service to his country in 2011. And please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to welcome you here today. The Wayne County Veterans Memorial began in 1985 as a project of the Joint Veterans Organizations of Wayne County. At the time of its completion, it was the largest privately funded memorial of its kind in the state of Ohio. Since the completion and dedication in 1988, the people in and of the area have come here to honor and remember those who have served our country. 2 years ago, Wooster Rotary Club dedicated a portion of their Veterans Fund to make improvements here. Greg Long, a retired United States Army Lieutenant Colonel, and Richard Winkleman, a retired United States Army Sergeant Major and Gold Star father, set about raising funds to add 2 additional monuments. The first was the Bronze Battlefield's Cross, which you see to my right, and that was dedicated on Veterans Day last year. The second phase has successfully completed, and that is why we are here today. Of course, projects such as this can only be completed with the cooperation of many entities coming together, and we would like to thank the Wayne County Commissioners for their care and upkeep of this memorial, the Wooster Cemetery Board and crew for their help in placing and erecting the memorials, Wooster Rotary Club for spearheading the efforts to make these improvements, Bo Thompson and Thompson Memorials for their beautiful work on the stone, Jason Winkleman for coordinating and writing today's ceremony, all Wayne County Veteran Service Organizations for their continued dedication to the men and women who served, and also the participants in today's service for taking the time from their schedule to be here and lend their individual talents to the success of this program, and of course, the citizens of Wayne County for their continued support and donations to this project. Let's give them all a round of applause. The service flag is an official banner authorized by the Department of Defense for display by families who have members serving in the armed forces during any period of war or hostilities that the United States may be engaged in for the duration of such hostilities. The service flag, or Blue Star flag, was designed and patented by Army Captain Robert L. Cusser of the 5th Ohio Infantry Division during World War I. Captain Cusser had 2 sons serving in the front lines in Europe, and the flag quickly became, at that point, the unofficial symbol of a child in service. President Wilson became part of the history when in 1918 he approved a suggestion made by the Women's Committee of the Council of National Defenses that mothers who had lost a child serving in the war wear a gold gilt star in the traditional black mourning armband. This led to the tradition of covering the blue star with a gold star in the service flag to indicate that the service member had died. During World War II, the practice of displaying the service flag became much more widespread. Most flags were made by hand by mothers across the nation. This practice became so widespread that the service flag became officially recognized by Congress through congressional order in 1942, which protects the service flag as an official patriotic symbol of the United States. This practice continues today. The blue service star is a display of pride for the service member's family. The gold star symbolizes the pain of loss and the sacrifice that losing a service member brings. It has been called the club that no one wants to belong to. A club whose members are connected and bonded forever with an indescribable combination of pride and sorrow. Those who are left behind carry the incredible weight of loss and must be honored and remembered. No one willingly sends a loved one to die, but there is a knowledge that the day may come and you may receive the news that your life has changed forever. Nothing can assuage the pain, and nothing can replace the void that a death leaves behind. We as a nation must remember the sacrifice of our men and women who give the last full measure of devotion, and we must hold up the families left to carry on. And so we are gathered here today to provide a small, tangible offering of recognition and gratitude to those families. The committee would now like to recognize those who donated to the fund, allowing this memorial to be completed. They include John and Sandra Fitzpatrick, Candace and Frank Relly Jr., Terry and Marie Noddy, Ted and Glory Doty, Todd and Patricia Carmody, Janet Welty in memory of Andrew and Mary Welty, Greg and Kathy Long, the Ralph R. and Grace B. Jones Foundation, family members of Specialist Damon G. Winkleman, American Legion Post 67 in Shreve, James and Sue Smale, Raymond and Rebecca Windsor, the Rotary Club of Wooster, Mary Hostetler, Jim and Ann Obrecht, Veterans of Foreign Wars, Chaplain Kiefer Post 1081 in Worcester, and the family of First Lieutenant John M. Runkle, Jr. We could not have completed this project without the support of the community. Let us give them a round of applause. As stated before, the Gold Star Family Memorial is the second of a two-phase plan to add to the Wayne County Veterans Memorial. This project was initially spearheaded by the Wooster Rotary Club through their Community Veterans Fund. Here to talk about future projects is Wooster Rotary Club President Justin Starlin.
Sir. Well, thank you, and thank you for the time to just share a couple minutes about Rotary. Rotary is an international service organization created to bring businesses and professional leaders together to provide humanitarian service and to advance goodwill and peace around the world. There are over 32,000 Rotary clubs worldwide and 1.2 million members. They all follow the motto of service above self. Locally, the retired president of the Wooster Brush Company, just down the road here, and 3 other distinguished citizens led the formation of the Rotary Club of Wooster in 1921 with 24 founding members. We are excited about celebrating our 100th year as an organization and are proud to support many local, national, and international projects throughout our years. Be it the funding of more than $350,000 in local scholarships, or the annual gathering of more than 30,000 canned food items in the fall for those in need, or the raising of, this is significant, of over $1 million of local funds to international projects. The 160 plus members of the Wooster Rotary are quiet contributors and volunteers to many causes. You know, over the years, Wooster Rotary has been a leader in the funding of projects that aim to bring awareness and support to our current servicemen and women, along with the honoring of those veterans that not only served, but gave the ultimate sacrifice. Rotary is proud of our proactive support of patriotism throughout the Wooster area with the ongoing facilitation of our Parade of Flags program, of which now boasts 2,000 plus subscribers, and throughout the year reminds our citizens of the importance of valuing our freedoms, supporting our country, and honoring our servicemen and women. In a time when national media downplay the importance of honoring our flag and our country, it is the strong Parade of Flags program that aims to assure that we are reminded of the importance of honoring our flag and our branches of service. And in the future, I'm confident to say that our Wooster Rotary Club, through the leadership of Greg Long, who is here, and the Patriot Committee, we will continue to support initiatives such as the Gold Star Family Memorial today, all of which the goal of honoring those who served. Such memorials like this complements Rotary's focus and motto of service above self. Again, we are honored to have contributed to this memorial and say thank you to those who have sacrificed so much so that we can freely live in the greatest nation in the world.
If you look on the back of your program, there's a poem entitled "We Remember Them." It was written by Rabbi Sylvan Kamens and Rabbi Jack Reimer in 1926. We are pleased to welcome recent Troy High School honor graduate Miss Anna Wooster to read this poem to us.
At the rising of the sun and at its going down, we remember them. At the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them. At the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. At the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. At the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. At the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joy we crave to share, we remember them. When we have decisions that are difficult to make, we remember them. When we have achievements that are based on theirs, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them.
Our keynote speaker today is the highest-ranking military veteran in the history of Wayne County. You would never guess it from his humble demeanor and his good-natured personality, nor will he tell you about this or about himself if you do not know him. Instead, he would tell you stories of those whom he has served with and proudly boast of the history of his hometown. We are indeed privileged to have with us today retired United States Army Major General Todd Carmody. Major General Todd Carmody is a graduate of Wooster High School, the Ohio State University, and the Army War College. He is also a graduate of the Army's Airborne and Ranger Schools and was a qualified M1 tank commander. In his 39-year career, General Carmody has commanded infantry, cavalry, and armored units from company to division level. In 2004 to 2005, then Brigadier General Carmody served in the Balkans as a commanding general of the NATO Multinational Brigade East and Task Force Falcon. At that time, it was the largest single overseas deployment of the Ohio National Guard since the Korean War. In 2005, he also deployed to Gulfport, Mississippi as part of the Katrina Relief Mission. From 2008 to 2011, as commander of the 38th Infantry Division, headquartered in Indianapolis, General Carmody was responsible for training over 10,000 troops in Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. He retired from active service in 2011. In his civilian career, General Carmody was president of the Wayne Insurance Group from 1996 to 2020, retiring in 2020. He remains chairman of the Board of Insurance Group and is on the Board of Governors of the Wooster Community Hospital. He resides in Wooster with his wife Pat, a retired Triway teacher, and they have 2 sons and 4 grandchildren. Please welcome Major General Carmody.
I'm working with the sun here, so just give me a second. You noticed that too, right? I had the lens in my right eye replaced, so and I haven't had the left one done, so I'm between, glasses and eyes and everything else, and then the glare up here making it interesting. So that's just an excuse in case I screw up. Okay, I can actually see fine. So, it's truly an honor to be asked to speak here today. Over the years, I've spoken at a lot of different places, but speaking here on this ground is always special because my parents and grandparents are buried here at Wooster Cemetery. First, I want to add my thanks to the community members who conceived the idea, raised the funds, and completed the task to build a memorial to our Gold Star families, particularly the Winkleman family, the Long family, and the fine citizens of Rotary International, as well as Thompson's Memorials, who actually created the monument you're going to see here. Thanks particularly to Jason Winkleman, himself a Gold Star brother, for putting together this dedication ceremony. Further, I would be remiss if I did not thank the numerous institutions and volunteer organizations that provide support to our veterans and their families. Wayne County is blessed to have so many. For over 300 years, our cities, towns, and villages across this land, our country's citizens have been moved by the willing sacrifice of other Americans to protect our liberty and unique way of life. Those public-spirited citizens have built thousands of memorials to the fallen. While we have some grand state and national memorials, our local memorials are more personal. In this place, Wayne County citizens have tried to express their gratitude to those who have served and died defending America. Please note the words engraved here. Behind me, to cherish liberty, one need only remember how it was earned. On the soldier's cross in front of me, all gave some gave all. Now we will soon add the words, when we lose somebody we love, we must learn not to live without them, but to live with the love they left behind. These last words, engraved on the memorial to be unveiled before you, are a recognition of the tremendous grief and personal sacrifice that the families of the fallen suffer. Mr. Scholl has noted the development of the Gold Star movement to bring increased recognition and support to families who have suffered the ultimate loss. This new memorial is our community's attempt to show our recognition of the families, and it is a fine addition to this sacred ground. Some years ago, I drove to Somerset, Ohio, to participate in a memorial service for a recently fallen soldier. As frequently happens, I did not know the soldier, and I had never been to Somerset, Ohio. The service was on the town square, and looming over us was the mounted figure of Phil Sheridan, the Civil War general who was raised in Somerset. I gave my remarks, and for the first time, it was my responsibility to present our nation's flag to the soldier's widow. The overarching sense of grief made this a very tough assignment. The widow was quite young and had 2 small children seated beside her. I knelt in front of her, intent on making sure that I got the official words right, saying, as a representative of the United States Army, it is my high privilege to present you this flag. Let it be a symbol of the appreciation this nation feels for the distinguished service rendered to our country and to our flag by your loved one. The widow could see that I was close to tears, and she smiled at me, reassuring me that it would be all right. As I drove back to Worcester, I reflected on the courage of this young mother, who amid her grief had shown me compassion. This is the courage that our Gold Star families demonstrate daily, despite their own unfathomable loss. They still put on a brave face while going through the difficult process
of interring and memorializing their loved ones. They also meet and share with their loved ones' friends and community members who are also struggling with the loss. These Gold Star families go forward every day with a hole in their heart that will never heal, but also with the remembered love and life of the one they have lost. Stephanie Luna, whose husband Kevin was killed in Iraq in 2005, said, "I refuse to say not forgotten, because not and forgotten are negatives. I'm thankful that he was there. I'm not just sad but that he left, but I'm happy I got to meet him. I like to say I met my guardian angel." Today we salute that courage and say thank you to our Gold Star families for raising a child who volunteered to serve his country and protect others, who went knowing the risk yet fully embracing the mission, and who unselfishly gave their life so that we may continue to enjoy our many freedoms. Jason Winkleman pointed out to me that on the pillars behind me are the names of 300 Wayne County citizens who gave their lives in our nation's wars. Those names also represent 300 local families who, while not named or recognized, are carrying the burden of that loss for the rest of their lives. But today, we have the opportunity as a community to recognize those families and show our gratitude. Would all the Gold Star families that are here today please stand, and if you're already standing, please raise your hand. Again, thank you for your courage, and thank you for your sacrifice. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of this special day.
Well, he stole some of my thunder, so the next thing that I'm supposed to talk about here is if we have any Gold Star family members that are present. If you're in attendance, please stand. And again, be recognized. We cannot understand. We cannot understand the extent of your loss and sacrifice. We are honored to have you with us today, and thank you for being present. Ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged to once again welcome singer Jill Burt. Jill has been touring and recording all over the United States for over 20 years, and today she'll be performing a song written by David Puckett and Sean Watkins entitled The Hand Song. Jill.
I just want to add that Jason Winkleman found this special song, and 2 weeks ago he texted me and said, we need a really special song for the ceremony for all the wonderful families. And I said, okay, what do you have in mind? And he said, I have one song that I suggest. And so I heard it one time and I agreed, and so I was able to get the music from a dear friend in Nashville. And so this song is dedicated to all of the loved ones that started out as little boys and little girls and became the wonderful soldiers that gave their life for our country. But they started out having loving hearts with their mothers and fathers. And this song, once again, is just called The Hand Song. And I'm honored to sing this in honor of them.
The boy only wanted to give mother something, and all of her roses had bloomed. Looking at him as he came rushing in with them, knowing her roses were doomed. she knew it was love. It was one she could understand. He was showing his love. That's how he hurt his hands. He still remembers that night as a child on his mother's knee. She held him close and she opened her Bible and quietly started to read. Then seeing a picture of Jesus, he cried out, "Mama, he's got some scars just like me." And he knew it was love. It was one he could understand. He was showing his love. That's how he hurt his hands. Now the boy's grown and moved out on his own. When Uncle Sam comes along, a foreign affair, but our young men were there, and luck had his number drawn. It wasn't that long till our hero was gone. He gave to a friend what he learned from the cross, but they knew it was love. It was one they could understand. He was showing his love. That's how he hurt his hands. It was one they could understand. He was showing his love. That's how he hurt his hands.
Thank you to all our heroes.
The time has arrived for the official unveiling of the memorial. This will be followed by a rifle volley, taps, and a minute of silence. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you're able. And as the memorial is officially presented by the President of the Joint Veterans of Wayne County, retired United States Army Staff Sergeant Cody Brown.
Right. Hey. Ready. Hey. Up.
Reverend Dr. Dana Kierstead will now bless us with a benediction.
Eternal God, may your blessing rest upon these families here assembled, and all who claim kindred to our departed sons and daughters, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters. In the name of him who reigns forever, Holy Spirit, eternal being, and the one who walked among us, Jesus of Nazareth. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, our ceremony has come to an end. On behalf of the veterans of Wayne County, thank you for coming and being with us today. We ask that you give the Gold Star families in attendance an opportunity to see the memorial first. God bless our troops, God bless the veterans, and God bless America. Thank you.